Before he worked here, he worked at Comedy Central, licensing shoddy merchandise for an offensive program called South Park. In his free time, he edits his wife's term papers, annoys his children, and creates problems in Greenwich, Connecticut, where he was foolishly elected to the local legislature, performing a monologue by New England humorist Marshall Dodge, Mr. Frank Quinn.
Bert and I come down to the dock about 6 o'clock in the early morning. Bert stepped into the boathouse to fetch the pads and the slickers. And I went out on the dock to start up the Bluebird. I stepped into the cockpit to loosen her up with a few turns. Well, you could hear we're cold, so I advanced the spack and gave her more choke and cranked her up in earnest. Well, I got it static. Bert come out on the dock with the pads and slickers. Throw him aboard, Bert. Bert threw him aboard. Cast off the bow, Bert. Bert cast off the bow. Cast off the stern, loosened the springer, hopped aboard, gave the dock a shove with the boat hook, and the Bluebird slithered out into the harbor. We hit on number 2 about on schedule. When I sniffed the cold breeze coming in off the ocean, laid in with humidity. That one made me sniffing. That was a breeze. Went along before old Greasy Frog Light started in a fonfin. That were old Greasy Frog. Presently, we were locked in a dungeon of fog. I couldn't see Bert, and he couldn't see me. I told Bert to cut our engine so as we could listen for the Bangor packet, due through about that time. Cut engine, Bert. Bert cut engine. Give a blast to the horn, Bert. Give her another one, Bert. Well, that was good, but it weren't good enough. Because out of the fog, about 100 yards to starboard, come the Bangor packet, bearing in on a full 10 knots and headed straight for the Bluebird. The Bangor packet struck the Bluebird about midship and went on through her like green corn grows through the new maid. The water rose up to our necks before we decided to swim for it. I dove down about a fathom or so to avoid the 2 whirling propellers of the Bangor packet as she went on top. I come up to the side and cried out, "Bert! Bert, are you there?" There weren't no answer. So I thrashed about in the water until I hit upon a hard object about a foot or so beneath the surface. I grabbed hold of it, pulled it up, and it was Bert. Only he was full of water. I just held his nose above the waves as best I could, till by some stroke of luck we fetched onto a buoy. I climbed atop it, pulled Bert up beside me, emptied him. And we were near dry by the time an old fishing snag came along, picked us up, and brought us back to Kennebunkport, Maine. Now, if you're ever down east and you want to go fishing, you have a standing invitation to come ride on the Bluebird 2 with Bert and I.